Hi guys, I'm Melinda, and right now there's currently construction going on in my home, so if you hear any loud clangs or anything like that, please disregard. Nothing bad is going on here. I'm just getting my house repainted after a flood, and they're like tearing down some drywall and stuff like that. But I want to open up the discussion today about my pie chart, and this is the pie chart I did on the first day of class. I did it on Paint on my computer, only because I'm a terrible drawer, and so this is what I came up with. Just a few things I am a part of. I did love one part piece kind of blank, only because I felt like it was a little too personal for me to share. But that is a big core of my being, and I found this entire process to be very interesting. It was kind of like taking a personal inventory, as like in the book was, and it kind of helped me think of topics. I never saw myself as being a part of a whole bunch of cultures. I kind of just thought I was just kind of my own individual, and then this kind of made me realize about a whole bunch of things that I actually am a part of. Like, for a long time ago, when we also talked about time, I used to be on Team USA for figure skating, and that was like a huge core of my being. And then I realized when I was doing it on my pie chart, right now I'm just it's so tiny, and that used to be a huge aspect of my life, and I feel like it still shaped it. But we also have to kind of think of in this moment now, what does my pie chart look like? And I like how dynamic that could possibly kind of change. And it really did help with my brainstorming of the subject. Like I said, it was kind of more, instead of categorical brainstorming, I kind of did more of a personal inventory because I did want to start with things that I was familiar with. Because I feel that when I'm uncomfortable presenting, if I know a topic that is kind of important to me, it matters. I also kind of thought about other people in my personal life that could be affected and kind of exposing their stories as well. And that's how I got to my topic choices. A few of them I kind of thought about was talking about people with heart problems and kind of talking about this culture of people who actually wear smartwatches and assisted devices to check their heart rate and stuff like that to make sure that they're not going into AFib, which is when your heart atriums vibrate. So you're not getting enough blood into your body and you could pass out and your heart rate fluctuates. And I think that's a pretty cool thing to talk about, how these people are reliant on these technologies. And I feel like that's a cool culture to kind of dive into and trying to talk about how technology has progressed to make people live longer, and these group of people honestly have like an ally with each other, which is pretty interesting. Also, another topic I wanted kind of to address is about Marvel, specifically women superheroes and how they're represented in Marvel and in DC Comics, and to the comic world would be my audience, and that would be the culture that is involved in that, and kind of to talk about its impact on women and how actually the comics have changed and how that actually impacts culture and how that impacts women see themselves, which I thought would be an interesting topic. And also the one that I think I'm going to go with, which is my number one topic, is the one I'm heavily involved with. I am hearing impaired. I am part of something I never saw myself as until I read this, until I did the pie chart. I am part of a disabled community, and I wear hearing aids, and I am hearing impaired. So my audience would, my culture would typically be disabled community, and specifically the hearing impaired community, because there's so much animosity and stuff like that that really needs to be said about us. I feel like my artifact would be my hearing aid, because it's so, the technology it's made um, has gone a long way, and talking about its impact on how it makes, disabilities kind of like super abilities. And I feel like a lot of people see people with disabilities as disabled. Even the word disabled is I feel is problematic, because it doesn't describe me as a person. I don't feel like I'm a disabled person. I can't function in society. I honestly feel that I'm actually more enabled to do something, because my life has more possibilities with hearing aids, and I will talk more about that if I were to take this to a speech, which kind of goes to what my purpose statement would be for this, which my purpose statement would be to educate, inform, and reevaluate the general perspective on viewing people with hearing disabilities. And And my more preview/thesis statement would be often in society and also within the disabled community, people with hearing impairments are often associated with a negative connotation, and the rhetoric term of disabled is contradictory to the enabling features that the hearing impaired community have to offer, which would be my statements that I would go about the direction of talking about my artifact speech and using hearing aids to kind of talk about and segue into that culture, how it makes hearing impaired people actually more enabled. It's kind of like a super ability, and there's so many features that could be discussed about why that is. Thank you guys for listening, those who browsed upon my video, and I look forward to watching all your guys' speeches as well.